Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah. So it's pretty much full on at the moment. We're getting lots and lots of harvests. Too many harvests to video everything on, too many harvests to get everything on video at the moment. My mum's picking runner beans. My wife's about to pick some spinach and chard and stuff like that. And I'm gonna pick my potatoes in wood chips. So these are the potatoes that are growing wood chips. I mean, I'm not expecting the results that I got last year because of that poisoned grass I added onto this mulch. But let's get dug in and see what we can find. I'm hoping that we'll get some nice potatoes. Fingers crossed. Let's see. So what we'll do is we'll start from this end and work our way across, and we'll pull this mulch off as we go in, and then we'll compost this mulch separately. Because this mulch has got that poisoned grass in it, I don't want to leave this mulch on top of my bed like I'd normally do. What I'd normally do is I'd use this mulch to feed my bed for next year, but now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this mulch off and compost it all separately. So we'll start with this plant and give this one a pull. Bismillah. 1, 2, 3. Oh, nothing there. Oh, you got one. One little tiny one. So let's see. Okay. Get that on the compost pile. Bismillah. So let's dig in and see what we find. Oh, these are King Edwards. Some King Edwards coming. These are King Edwards. So you can see the wood chips that I put down has all broken down. Look how nicely it's breaking down.
And on that side.
Oh, there we go. There's a nice King Edward there.
And a worm that's been helping the King Edward.
And there's another nice King Edward there. So, Zaki, you getting the potatoes? So, with this method, all you do is literally just come in and sift through the soil like this. You don't have to dig. All we do is we just go through the soil, go through the mulch like this. It's on top of the bed, and pick out any potatoes that we find. There's another little one there that I saw. Oh, there, you got one. Come on, off this one. Off. No, no. They're my cabbages, mate. Ow, ow, ow. Come on. Come on. I can pull this one out. Whoa, what we got? Come on, let's see what else we've got. Potatoes. More potatoes. Whoa, there we go. There we go, there's a couple. There's a couple there. Look, there's some here. Let's pull that one. So let's see what we find down here. Oh, there's one. That's a Desiree. Let's put that in a different bucket.
What's a Desiree?
That's the red potatoes.
Ooh,
that's a King Edward. Yeah, in the King Edward bucket. That's a really nice one.
King Edward.
There you go. Good boy.
Why are they called King Edward?
Because that's the variety of potato they are.
So they just name them?
Yeah. Oh, here we go. There's some nice ones.
Yeah, there's one down here. There's a white one.
And that's got a bit of scab on it as well. Okay, let's save that one to one side because that's got a bit of scab on it.
Oh,
there's more. Yeah, pull that whole plant out. Pull that whole plant out. There you go. There's some nice potatoes there. Oh, Khadija, don't chuck it on top of me.
Wow! I found one underneath.
You found one underneath? Nice. Good boy.
Baba, you just buried a tiny potato.
Well, you need to get those tiny potatoes out, otherwise they're going to end up growing. Yeah. There you go, that's it, Dave. Get involved. Hit. Push the soil that way, handful at a time. Not on top of me though. There you go, good boy. That's a nice sized potato, isn't it? See, we're going to have chips tonight, I think.
What? No mash.
We haven't had chips for a long time. That's a nice one, Dave. Well done.
That's a nice one. I found one and oh, they're big potatoes.
Big potatoes. Now they're coming. These King Edwards are all very similar size, but there's no absolute whoppers like there were last year. Last year the whoppers were with Desiree. We haven't got to the Desiree yet, so let's keep going and see when we find them.
What's a Desiree?
Desiree is a type of potatoes. You know the red potatoes that we grow? They're called Desiree. That's a Desiree. So Desiree, go in the Desiree bucket.
I got one.
Yeah. Wait till we get to the middle of the bed. That's where you're going to get all the good sized potatoes.
Can I dig up that one?
Put some on one edge, and then you know which ones you've done and which ones you haven't.
Oh, here.
There you go. There's the Desirees. Now that's what we're talking about.
That's a huge
That's
one.
what we're talking about with the Desirees. There you go. Nice. Very nice. Okay. Here's one.
Whoa.
This is a Desiree.
I wasn't one in my eyes. Desiree.
Calling this the duck potato.
Yeah, this is a duck.
But yeah, the Desirees always do quite nice, even if you get a few funny shapes. But
I want a King Edward though.
oh, here, what is this? What is this?
Wow. I know what to call this one. Foot.
No, that's a nice potato. That. See the Desirees. That's one thing about the Desiree potatoes; they never let me down. Oh, there we go, Dave. Look at that.
I can't see.
No, nice potatoes there.
There's a worm inside.
So definitely, this method does work. This method really does work. Oh, look at that!
Look, I know what to call that one.
Look at that one. What do you want to call him? One?
Fat.
Fatty.
Yeah, fatty.
You can see the madness that we get with this when it's potato harvest time.
Whoa! I found one.
You found one, Dave. Get your potatoes, buddy.
Whoa!
Let's do these ones, and then we'll go over to the next line. Let's see the King Edward plants.
This time over here.
Have all but died. The Desiree plants are still looking quite healthy actually, compared to the King Edwards. It's fun when you're harvesting potatoes with the whole family, even though it's a bit hectic and a bit crazy. But this method definitely works. And remember guys, you saw it here. This method definitely works. So what you're doing is you're growing potatoes and pretty much fresh wood chips, and then that wood chip goes on to feed your soil for the next year. If you want to go and see how I planted these potatoes, go back and check the video out that I did with potatoes planted in wood chips. I'll put a link up here, and we're going to keep harvesting these potatoes and see how we get on.
Oh, here's one.
Come on, get it.
I think it's big.
King Edwards are going. Ogasen morse. A Desiree are going gasen. Lala luzekta. Ugase otazarise. Yeah. Look, if you go like this at the bottom and then lift the soil up, well, that's what this game's about. See, you don't need a fork, so you're not stabbing the potatoes and growing them.
Fork.
No, you don't need one. No, you don't need a spoon either. There we go. There we go. There's some nice potatoes there. And this is one of the advantages of this method, is you get hardly any slug eater potatoes. And if you've got wireworm, this is a fantastic method as well, because you're not actually growing in the soil, you're growing in the wood chips on top. Now gently pull them this way, okay? This one there, this one there, this one there, this one there. Hey, there we go. See that one? I could tell that one was going to be a nice one.
King Edward! What's King Edward's full? King Edward is nearly full. Desiree is nearly full.
That's because we planted a lot more King Edwards this year in this bed than Desiree.
I know.
So, but we've hardly watered this. I mean, apart from the rain, there's been very little water that we've put on this. The only time that it's got a bit of water is when we've blasted it, when we've been watering the other plants. Watering potatoes takes so long. We just don't waste our time with it really. With this method, because it preserves the water so well, because the wood chips hold on to the water so well, you don't really need to worry about watering them.
Yeah.
What about that one? That's the biggest King Edward so far. See, what I'd do with this mulch is I'd spread this over the whole bed over winter, and then that'd break down, and my bed for next year would be absolutely perfect, ready for growing in. But because this is of that amino pyrrolide, I'm not going to do that with this. What I'm going to do with this, I'm going to take it all off, put it in a bag and compost it down separately over a year or so, and just so we can get rid of the effects of that nasty compost.
You don't want them to?
Yeah.
Ah, there's a huge one.
Oh, there's lots on that one.
Shake it off.
There you go.
Oh, but there's some two tiny ones over there.
Okay, I'll get them. So one thing, if you were trying to store potatoes for a long time, is if you cut the potato plant down just above soil level and leave it like that for a week or two and then harvest them after that, then what happens is the potatoes toughen the skin off, because the best place to store potatoes are underground. But most of these potatoes will be used for us in a matter of weeks. If in the next 4 or 5 weeks they'll be used. And I've got more potatoes to harvest through the next few months. So I've got potatoes in buckets that were planted in, I've got staggered plantings. I've got a load of volunteer potatoes over there that I'm going to dig up once I pull my pumpkins. I've got loads of potatoes in buckets that I'm going to pull up in November time. So we've got staggered plantings and staggered harvests. So that's what we're going to keep doing. And throughout August, what I've been doing, I've been planting more and more potatoes as well in buckets. And once my stuff in the greenhouse starts dying down, I'll move those buckets into the greenhouse and protect them and keep them growing as long as I can. So let's just keep pulling these, and let's get to the last few potatoes that we've got.
Ooh.
Oh, there's even a piece of biochar there, look.
What's that?
Biochar, I've done a video on biochar actually, on what biochar is and how to use it. It's a way of making stable carbon that provides a lot of habitat inside your soil. It holds on to water, it holds on to nutrients, made out of it's not the same as wood ash and it's not the same as charcoal. I've just been bitten by a black and white insect. It's not a horsefly, it's a lot smaller, but when it bites it swells up. It often it blisters up for me, and I can already feel it stinging. So that's one of the things that you'll often hear about people complain about wood chips, that they make habitat for slugs. I found one slug in this whole bed and a couple of slug eating potatoes out of all of this bed. I don't think they create a habitat for slugs at all. I think that's my last. If I find anything in, oh, there's one. I thought I wasn't going to find any more then. One more there, Hadi. And let's see if there's anything else here. So that's not bad. That's not bad at all. So look at our area. So it's about 2 meters wide. No, hang on. Yeah, just about 2 meters wide, maybe a little bit under 2 meters, by about 4 meters on this side and about 3 meters on that side. So that's our area that we've been working with. So these are all going onto my compost pile. I'm not going to compost these separately. These are all going straight into my normal compost bin. I'm not worried about anything that's been taken up by these plants. A bad potato harvest at all from this area. So 3 full buckets of potatoes. I'll give them a weigh in and see what we get with that. I think it's almost as good as last year, even though we've had that setback with the amino pyralid, but it's almost there. And we didn't grow as many Desiree this year, so that set us back a bit, but I'm happy with that. I'm very happy with that. And some nice big whoppers there as well, absolute beauts. Look at that, gorgeous.
I'm gonna eat mash.
So let's get them up to the house. Now, one of the worst things you could do to store these potatoes would be to wash them and then try and store them like that. I mean, the best way to store them now would be to just brush off any loose dirt and just store them in a dark place. I'm being bitten by, there's that insect. Is that, I got you. So let's give these potatoes away and see what they come out at. So 7.3 kilos in that bucket.
Go take gloves out.
Take the gloves out because they're going to make all the difference. 7.3 in that bucket, that's not bad. I think this one's going to be a bit heavier.
Yeah, because of the big one.
7.8.
So 3.8.
So that's not bad. 7.3, 7.3 and 7.8. So that's 22.4 kilos. Not bad at all. I think it's very close to what we grew last year. I'm very happy with that actually. So despite having that setback with the aminopyrrolide in the potato bed, we've done alright. Yeah, they've not done bad at all. So I'm very happy with that. I'll leave it there for this one. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.